Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 718 for Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2025. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag, PSN ID, Steam ID, Webby360G, and joining me today is...
It's Graham, or GHamOx14.
PlayStation is down, but we're not. It's Nick Fights.
And Sensei Switch.
Well, guys, this week, I think I mentioned it last week, 17 years of podcasting on and off.
Wow.
Oh, I know.
Almost old enough to drink.
Nearly, yeah. Nearly. And so that's cool. And you know what I noticed as well? You remember, I can't remember if I talked about this. So about a year or so ago, I stopped renewing the payment for the website domain name. Yeah. And then it got bought by some Chinese porn people. And it was and it was a Chinese porn site for a little while, and now it's nothing. But I had a look the other day, and I can't buy the website name back until it expires in another year, which is really annoying. So I've set a reminder, and I'm going to try and buy it back next year and keep it, because that was a little bit annoying.
Can't you just pay a once-off thing and keep it, or do you just have to keep renewing?
No, you have to pay every year. Yeah, it's not loads. It's like £25 a year or something.
Yeah, but does anyone actually go to that website? I saw you get all traffic analysts and stuff like that.
Oh, no. Well, the reason I stopped paying is because no one was going on it, but it's still the name of the show, and it's a little bit annoying that some Chinese fucking porno people fucking bought it. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed it personally. I went there to see if the show was up and saw that. I was like, oh, this is much fun, isn't it? I wanted something to listen to before work. I had much more fun.
Yeah, it's not anything now, but it's just annoying. I actually completed a game this week, guys.
Wow.
I know. And I am doing a Nick now.
What?
I'm trying to clear my backlog, so this is now Webby's Retro Corner for the beginning of the episode.
That's hilarious, because I've only played brand new games.
We have swapped brains.
Something like that.
Yeah. God. Okay, yeah, so this game was an Xbox 360 title, but it was been on my backlog on Steam for ages, and I thought, what a more perfect way to play this than the Steam Deck. So I completed it, and I absolutely loved it, and I can't believe I never played this. Or if I did, I forgot.
Right to Hell Retribution?
No, I've played that.
Is it Leisure Suit Larry?
No, it is Spec Ops The Line.
Oh, you must have played that.
Yeah, I've played this game and beat it.
Well, either my memory is terrible, or do you remember in the 360 days where we used to play about fucking 10 games a week or something silly because there were so many games?
Good old days, yeah.
Yeah, and when I rented games on Boomerang Rentals and just rushed through game after game and sent to get the next ones, I probably... Well, I don't know, because I looked through my achievements. So on the PC app, you can actually type the name of the game, and it brings up the game if you've played it for the Chivos, and it didn't come up. So either it's not showing me it, or I never played it. I certainly don't remember it. So,
or is that a game that doesn't have those achievements, or didn't?
It would have had Chivos.
It's got achievements, yeah.
No, maybe it didn't have them when you played it the first time.
Oh, yeah, it would have done. I would have done 360, mate. Anyway, so I've got I've got a folder. I made a folder on my Steam library called Backlog and whacked a load of games in there. And I pumped the list into the Discord chat, and a few of the guys in Discord said, oh, Spec Ops, that's quick and easy, and it's great. I was like, oh, yeah, all right, I'll check it out. So I put it on my Steam Deck. And, yeah, it's quite a short game, only about 6 hours, which is perfecto. Remember those short and sweet campaign games that, you know,
Yeah,
we don't get anymore.
Between 5 and 6 is all you need.
Yeah. I loved it. It was so good. And you know what? Obviously I know it's an old game, but I'm not going to spoil the story, because a couple of the guys in Discord said, "Oh, that ending, I could see it a mile away, but it was really good, blah blah blah." I finished the game and I was like, "What? I did not see that ending coming." If you know what I mean. Wow. It was it's such a cool game, because it's kind of I mean, the graphics still look pretty nice, I'd say, but it's very much like it's a military third person kind of Gears of War style. So it's basically third person, you press A to duck behind cover. So it has that very Gears of War cover mechanic.
I'm kind of surprised that cover mechanic has disappeared in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it works well. It's very smooth, because it's even the way the characters, you can move between different cover as well, like very quickly. It does all that like Gears as well. But you know, obviously it's very basic kind of shooter anyway. You know, you go through areas, you're clearing enemies, you're moving on, blah blah blah. It's set in Dubai, and it's kind of like this the Americans are in there, and you're this elite group, and shit's going down. You got to like help. You kind of gone in there to help the people that are there, and the sandstorms and things like that. But there's a big story twist, and what's quite interesting about it is you make decisions throughout the game, like quite hard decisions, if that makes sense, like killing civilians, and like, so there's a couple of things, like, so there's one where something happens and like there's a whole like group of civilians and they're surrounding you, and then you point your guns at them and they start to back off and run away, and then you get the choice to fucking mow them down or leave them to run away, and that choice does have an effect.
For that.
Yes.
I like that, because you as a player are kind of angry at that moment because of what that led up to.
Yeah. And then there's another section with where you have to decide who to kill out of two people, and you give like, and the man's like, this person's done this, that person's done that. You must kill one. If not, we'll kill them both. But then, I'm not going to say any more, but you know, you get choices like that throughout the game, and it's kind of like, that's like proper like war choices that I imagine soldiers would probably make, and then it goes through.
You have to make them in the heat of the moment as well.
Yes, that's it.
No fucking about.
Yeah, that's it. But what I like about it is, afterwards there'll be like cutscenes or discussions, and the soldiers will be chatting to each other, saying, "Man, I can't believe we did that. I feel so guilty. Oh my goodness," you know, or they start arguing with each other about if you did something that they didn't like, and you think, that's something you don't really see in war type games, really, is it? It's more, you know, most games are like, oh, you're just shooting baddies, that's it. There's none of that kind of discussion around it.
I mean, I think it's probably a game that's sort of like stemmed from obviously the whole like war in Iraq and that kind, because it was around that sort of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
just
right.
After, and there's obviously all these things of like, oh, should they be out there doing that and helping, or are they really helping, and all this kind of stuff. So there was a lot of that kind of sentiment with the military.
Yeah.
Normally it's just all dude bros and high fives and grenades going off. They really sort of went a bit more into how it was affecting like normal soldiers as well, didn't they?
That's right.
So I don't know, maybe they didn't like those types of games, if that ruffled a few feathers.
Maybe. But no, I think it's a great game. I mean, it's probably dirt cheap now. Like, I think I must have got it on Steam in like a Humble Bundle or something, because I don't remember actually buying it, or if I did, it would have been donkeys years ago. But no, I think, you know, and it just goes to show to me that sometimes going back and playing these older titles, I mean, it's probably like 20 years old now. Wow, I feel old. Some of these games, these older titles still hold up, and sometimes it's worth going back and either replaying games you have played because it's been long enough you've forgotten, or playing some of those backlog games that you haven't got round to playing because you might be pleasantly surprised, which I was with this one. So
this is why that generation was just so good.
Yes, it was.
Because you had like all these kind of games coming out sort of quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And even if they weren't visually great, they played great, or they had really interesting narratives that kept you sort of engaged.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think for an older for an Xbox 360 era title, I think it still looks decent. I mean, obviously I had it on the smaller screen on the Steam Deck, but that's kind of what it's perfect for, those type of games. And also it does prove to me that not everything is about graphics. It's all about gameplay and story for me. And I got really sucked into this. No, it's not.
So it's not just the graphics. It's all, I don't know, because I remember having these conversations when we were at school, when we were talking about, Final Fantasy VII having really shit graphics, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
But I think we're sort of lost that now, especially with like the PC gamers and stuff going on about ray tracing and all these frames per second and all this sort of stuff. I think, games have really focused too much on things like that rather than just making good, decent games.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of features in old games that haven't come to newer games in like 20 years. Like I was watching, I know I digress a little bit. I watched a video today where this guy was reminiscing on Halo 3 and explaining about the theater mode. So you'd go into a game and it would save the full multiplayer game, and you could go back into the theater and not only watch the full game from your perspective, you could chop and change between every character, every person who was playing that game.
And stuff as well,
freeze it, do a free cam around the whole map as the match is going on. And I was like, that's in the game. That is so amazing. Like, why isn't that a feature in games now? That is insane. We can't. It is. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I always go back as well to Rainbow Six Black Arrow on the original Xbox, which allowed you to set up a clan in the game and set up actual clan matches, dates and times against other clans, all in the menu in the game. I've never seen that again since either, and that worked really well. So I think modern games have lost some of their magic. Not all of it, of course. There's still some great games that do come out now, but I feel like that creativity is being lost along the way in that search for the greater resolution and greater graphics. Anyway, so
I still see people reacting to Spec Ops, obviously, even now, because obviously it's...
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Did you recognise the main character's voice actor by any chance?
Oh, it's not the same one who's been in shitloads of games, is it?
It's Nathan Drake.
It is Nathan Drake. I thought so, yeah. Yeah, bloody hell.
North.
He's been in everything, isn't he, Nolan North? Yeah. Even met him once at Eurogamer, and he shook my hand.
I don't think there's a single person that would play that game and not be kind of pissed off after a certain part of that game.
Yeah.
What part?
We'll just say white phosphorus.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, but obviously, only completed it the other day. Yeah. Yeah, and that's when some of the big arguments happen between the characters.
No fucking surprise.
Yeah. But no, it's
good mechanics as well, because obviously we'll just say like with it, you've got parts because obviously it's kind of like a region that's being buried by sandstorms.
That's right. Yeah.
So you've got all these luxury buildings and casinos and that sort of type of thing, hotels, etc., and you could shoot out skylights that were holding back sand.
Yeah, that's right.
The area, onto the soldiers with them.
Yeah.
Even that kind of stuff's sort of semi-missing in modern games, isn't it? Like the environmental stuff you could do. I mean, they brought some of it into Dragon's Dogma 2 when it wants to work, but...
Nice. Yeah, so, I just... wanted to shout out this old game. It's, as I say, it's absolutely fantastic. So, I say if you haven't played any old games for a while or you missed some games, and it's well worth going back to some of these older games. And I think, especially with the Steam Deck, for me, that's a perfect, as I say, the perfect device to play these older titles because they look awesome on that little screen. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, was this playable in co-op or was it a single player only? Because I can't remember if I went for it in co-op or not.
There was.
I went for a lot of games in co-op back then.
I think there was something multiplayer on the main menu, but I can't quite remember what, because I thought, oh well, I'm only going to rinse through it on my own. There might have been co-op. I can't say 100% because I didn't really fiddle with the menus. I just went straight into the campaign and rinsed through it. So Peebs said he was going to come on. Well, Peebs, come and say hello. Anyway, so that's that. Let's move on to who was next? Nick.
No, it's Graham next.
It's Graham. Sorry, go on, Graham.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, well, I haven't been playing a hell of a lot this week, but I have been carrying on with Resident Evil 4 in VR.
Oh, nice. Have you puked yet?
Not yet. I had a couple of occasions where it started to get a bit hectic, and I was starting to feel a little bit, a bit wobbly, shall we say? But no, this game I'm sort of ploughing through, and it's sort of turning up the heat as you go. You're getting more and more sort of aggressive enemies as it goes on, and I've just encountered. I mean, I can probably spoil it because it's such an old game now.
Yeah, it's like.
But you get cultists. You get cultists who, when you shoot them, they sprout the sort of fungus thing out of their head, the host out of their head, and it basically sticks them to the ceiling. And if you get too close, regardless of how much health you've got, it is basically instant death.
Oh, jeez.
Instant fail.
Whippy heads, Mr. Whippy heads. Right.
Yeah, the whippy heads, and they kind of stick themselves to the ceiling and then drop down on you. And it's carnage. But I've got to what I think is called the water hall inside the castle. It does get a little bit annoying because you have to basically you have to rescue Ashley, and she has a tendency to wander off and stand right in front of you when you're lining shots up, and you're like, for God's sake, woman, get out of the way.
How annoying.
But again, it's another one where if any of the cultists pick her up and walk off, again, it's instant fail. Go back to the last checkpoint.
Jeez.
But on your recommendation, I did look last week, and I found Resident Evil Village was actually on sale on PSN, and it was only £13.
Oh, no. So you could log on to PSN then, could you?
Oh, I did
that
it like
yesterday.
that.
You could still, I will say, you could still get on their freaking store yesterday while this whole issue was going on. It was just the online
You
gaming.
can buy stuff. I bought something.
Yeah.
I was out for most of the day, so I was absolutely unaware of this. So I just wanted to just go.
We'll talk about it in the news, but yeah, it made me chuckle.
But no, so I'm kind of still ploughing through. I'm about halfway through Resident Evil 4. I think it's really good. I think it's some cases the VR works really well and enhances it. But in other instances, like if you're in the heat of battle, having to basically drop your knife in order to have a hand free to reload the gun is a little bit of a pain in the ass sometimes.
You'd be able to change that, to be honest. I think with in REA, I changed it so you didn't have to like actually cock like bolt actions and all that.
You can in 8, but that menu option I don't think exists in 4. Or if it does, I'm looking in the wrong. Or if it does, I'm looking in the wrong place. But again, I mean, in that game, the combat knife is just super powerful. You can parry pretty much any of the attacks that come your way. So, I mean, I think they're sort of saying, I watched a couple of strategies online before I played it to kind of get an idea of what I should expect. But they're basically saying that with most of the sort of bad guys, kneecap them until they sort of drop down, then you can walk in and do like a sort of karate kick to the head, and then while they're down, you can knife them to basically get rid of them quite easily. I think as you go on, that becomes slightly harder to do because they get so aggressive with their attacks. And it is visually very impressive in VR. But yeah, I mean, once I've got this one finished, I might dive into 8 and have a look at that. I mean, I did very, very quickly fire it up to see what it looked like.
Can I ask
to be honest, it's just one of those games, all of those games, although they're freaky and they're horror and everything, it's like I've always said about VR, the best games for VR are places where you can explore fantastical, interesting locations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and you're definitely in for that with the RE games.
Well, don't you shit yourself when you're playing this though, like when the zombies jump out at you and that. And like make it extra because it makes this obviously it's extra immersive, isn't it? So it must be quite spooky. It
does, yeah. I mean, in a way, it sort of makes some parts of it easier because obviously, if you're playing on a TV, the area you're aiming for is quite a bit smaller than if you're aiming in real time because you have to remember while you play it, the characters feel like they're actually full-sized. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you walk up to them, they fill quite a lot of the screen, and you can aim very, very kind of precisely and on the fly and get the best sort of speed on the target that you can sort of in first person.
Okay.
But no, I mean, if anybody out there has a PSVR 2, worth checking out because I think this game is pretty cheap most places. And obviously also Resident Evil Village is quite cheap. And they both, to use, I don't know if it's the right word, they both look gorgeous in VR, although slightly disturbing at the same time.
Yeah, I can imagine. Cool.
You got like the horses' heads hanging from the fences and things, and it's just like, ugh.
That's why part of me was kind of semi-glad that Silent Hill 2 wasn't VR compatible.
Oh, mate.
Still tried it out.
Imagine that. Oh. That was scary enough just playing it on my monitor.
So, Graham, can you play 7, or is that the PS?
You could on the PS,
game?
Yeah, you could on the PS4. Unfortunately,
so it's not backwards compatible.
It, yeah, no. I was hoping that they were going to do a patch to make it playable with the
that's
PS4
kind of annoying.
Because that game as well has its own very unique atmosphere, being like slightly out of sorts from the rest of the RE franchise.
Yeah, that's the only downside with PSVR is it is not compatible whatsoever with the previous generation because I've got a relatively big game library, and there are a couple of games on there. Like I've got Ace Combat, which is VR compatible on PS4, but only with the original PSVR. If you load it up with PSVR 2 plugged in, it'll just say, "Sorry, you need to plug in VR to do this."
Oh, that's a bit shit, isn't it?
Shenron Kagura Beach Splash was PSVR compatible, but only the original.
Wow, now I know why you bought it.
Well, I bought it obviously before that was just a bonus when they added the VR compatibility, but it's only in one of the game modes. I think it's like photo mode.
Way.
Did he say that was a bonus or a boner?
Both.
Boner mode.
Oh dear. Cheers, mate. No, it's good.
To play it. Yeah, it's good. It's good, yeah.
Sweet, bruh. Okay, it's Nick's turn now.
Yeah. So I played a new game. I think it was new last week, not this week. So it was on Game Pass. My mate played it on one of them on Switch and said that was good. Not so much. Sniper Elite Resistance.
Oh, I've been playing this with Peeps this week.
Oh, yeah, well, so was I. I was expecting an invite, but I never got one, so...
I was playing it with my real friends, mate.
Yeah, I know. I've just, moved down the bench for the originals. Yeah, I mean, I think I might have played one of these ages ago, and it's weird, because I think I was confusing it with Silent Scope on the Dreamcast, where you were just, shooting people like that, so more of a Time Crisis type game. But yeah, it's a sniper game. You run around. I like the idea of. I think I've only done 3 missions and deleted it because I just thought, I can't be arsed.
Oh, it's good. It is good.
Yeah, I think it's clever how, like I said, that like these individual missions, and you could just plan so many different ways of doing it. You could be all, which I think you're supposed to be, like really stealthy, get in there and stuff like that.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, not with me. I'm like, no. I was like, right, how do I do this? Right, how do I blow this? Like, I mean, from on your show,
how would you blow
mission,
it? Would?
Yeah, whatever. Which I got to the first mission, which you're showing on the Twitch chat. Hi, Twitch chat. And you had to blow up the guns on the top of the dam, like the big, like anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I do this? How do I? And I was trying to work it out, so I just went up there and pressed X. But you were actually supposed to find Semtex and then set a bomb off.
Yeah.
So instead, I just pressed X and I set the cannon off and shot at the other cannon, and then everyone just attacked me and killed me. I was like, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Plus, a lot of the times, sometimes, not all the times, like the checkpoints are a bit...
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I think one of the last ones I'd done, I thought, no, I can't be doing with this. Like, the checkpoint seemed to put me... I was near enough right back to the start of the level. So I'm like, I can't do all that again. Because I got quite near the end. There was one mission where I sort of snuck in, like, all these houses, killed these guys, and then said, oh, go to another place, and then go to another place. And then I ended up in, like, a field with all the grass, trying to find, like, a secret door. I don't know where the secret door is.
I thought you were trying to smoke it.
Maybe, yeah, that type of secret grass. No wonder I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually I found it was, like, you had to open, like, a door, and then there was, like, a hatch or something. I was just like... You know, I enjoyed it. It was Game Pass, but I couldn't be asked because I was playing other games that I was enjoying more at the time. Plus, I had to delete it to make room for some more games that are coming out soon.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, me and Peebs have done. Well, I think we've only got 2 or 3 missions left to do, so we've been hammering it and doing every single side mission that we can find. Okay, so there's a few positives and negatives with this game I'm finding. One is that checkpoint system. However, it makes it a little bit easier on co-op because you can revive your partner. However, if you don't revive them in time, then it goes down as a mission fail and you have to restart from the checkpoint, and that's happened a few times.
Is it just co-op or is it like 3 or 4 player?
It's only I think it's just 2-player co-op. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But
that's why you didn't send me an invite then, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think you were online either. Also, the one negative is the movement is sometimes a little bit annoying, especially climbing.
It feels a bit PS2 E3, like you're bouncing off things and not quite.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Every time I fucking climb down something, I turn the camera around to walk away, and then the stupid bitch fucking starts climbing again. I'm like, I don't want you to fucking do this, you dickhead.
I've had that.
So annoying. And people will tell you I've been fucking swearing at this game for that.
Especially if you try to run away from people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
The other negative is the fucking satchel charges. Because like you mentioned, like to blow things up, you end up running around for like 10 minutes trying to find a fucking satchel charge to blow this thing up for your main mission. It's fucking annoying.
Surely, if you're going on a mission,
they not leave them right next to the objective.
Well, that's what they should do, Darren.
I did the first one. I walked straight past it. I didn't know what it was. But yeah, you'd thought if you were going to go on like one of these missions to blow shit up, you'd take one with you, wouldn't you? At least one.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit.
Yeah. But
do you still have the sorry, I was about to say, do you still have like the weird sort of like elusive targets on each level and stuff to kill as a bonus? And
yes,
you get like extra bonuses if you kill them in a certain way.
Yeah, I've seen them. So basically, it's exactly the same engine as the previous Sniper Elite. It feels more like a DLC game, to be honest. But what's really weird about it, right, is when you load it up, there's already like over 2,000 achievements that you can get for it because there's a fuckload of DLC and the game's only just come out. But I noticed one of the DLCs is exactly the same DLC as was in the last one, which is the
the Hitler one.
the Hitler one. You got to shoot him in the balls.
everyone since the first or second game, I think.
So you they're reselling the same DLC every single fucking game.
Well, I think it's a pre-order bonus.
I think that is taking the piss. That is fucking taking the piss. Reselling that same stuff.
I don't know if that was you, Webby. The first time I loaded it up, I was taken straight to do you want to buy DLC?
Yes, yeah.
That was the first thing I thought, no, I'm not pressing A to buy DLC. I'm going to cursor off that. So I'm a bit like... But I mean, I suppose the best thing about the game, the signature thing, is like the slow-mo bullet cams when you see the bullets flying through and like through their bodies and sometimes X-rays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does get a bit
how do they work in co-op?
Oh, you watch the other person's one.
Right, you do. So because I was trying to figure, like they kind of got round it slightly here and there in like the zombie army games, like the co-op, and use the same kind of thing.
Yeah, but what I will say a positive is the maps are all quite large. They're very well designed. I think the graphics are very nice. There's multiple routes around that you can take. So in that regard, it's a really cool campaign in that regard. But I will say they don't give you enough ammo. It's really fucking annoying. Every game I run out of sniper bullets. You're always having to fucking raid the dead bodies for more ammo, and that gets a little bit monotonous after a while. But those are only like little niggles, really. But to be fair, as a co-op campaign experience, it's a lot of fun. Me and Peebs have been having a blast playing this. We both played through the previous one as well and had fun on that. So I think that adds to the fun factor.
As big as like mad as like the castle map from the last game?
No. I mean, we've had a few quite large levels which have massive underground bases, which have been a bit maze-like. But no, I've quite enjoyed the levels. Because some of them are like cities and they're very full, if that makes sense. And some of them are in the countryside and look very pretty. They're sort of quite diverse in the environments, which is quite nice. So, yeah, I think it's another win for Game Pass, to be honest. It's given me and Peebs quite a bit of fun over the Friday and Saturday. We played quite a bit, and I think earlier on in the week as well. So, yeah. It's all good, Nick. You shouldn't have deleted it, mate. You could achieve Horde it, man.
Well, I mean, if I had someone to play with, obviously you've made your choice and you have to live with it.
Friend. Cool. Darren?
Yeah, Hogwarts.
Oh, you're still playing it?
Yeah, I'm still playing it. Although I did turn it on the other night and then turned it off, like, reasonably quickly.
Oh, why is that?
PSN was down.
I'm not great with spiders. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't mind them occasionally, but there was a certain mission where I think I was going through like a load of caves to find a missing house elf.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like while I was going through an area, like a ginormous spider just crawled up like the wall in the background, like as if to forebode. And I was like, nope, not tonight, mate. Save. Because that game obviously has a bonus thing in it where it allows you to save it anywhere. If only other games did that.
Well, I'll talk about a game in a minute where the saving is fucking shit.
Yes, I know exactly one like that.
But can I just ask? Did you see the announcement, Darren, of the sequel to this? Hogwarts 2 has been announced.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that got announced this week.
Was it an announcement or a rumour that they're working on it?
I saw it on Twitter, so it's got to be true, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know if anything official, but
okay.
I think it's a leak that they're working on it.
I imagine it's 100% official because this game made them a shitload of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, I say it will happen, but I don't think they've actually said that they're doing it.
See, the only issue I could say they possibly could run into with a sequel is it's kind of got to be set somewhere else.
Oh, spoilers for the end of Hogwarts then.
I'm just. No, it's not spoilers, but everyone's been around that Hogwarts and that map, so they kind of know. Are they going to try and do a Saints Row 2 with it?
Well, it says
maybe
here,
build
right?
onto the same sort of map, but because like the half of the spectacle of that game was visiting all those different areas and locations that people know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it says here on radiotimes.com, Hogwarts Legacy 2.
Reasonable.
Yeah. It says, seems to be confirmed that Industry Insider reveals detailed Warner Brothers report. So, yeah, I don't want to bang on about it, but yeah.
I mean, to be honest, you've got the TV show coming out in the next few years, so it wouldn't surprise me if they want to kind of capitalise on that.
Mm-hmm.
To sort of have a game out around the same sort of time that everyone's talking about, like this new TV show that's supposed to be like cover each season is the books, so it's going to go on for years and years, like Game of Thrones kind of.
Well, 7 years then.
But yeah, I'm still really enjoying the game. There's one thing in the game that I find puzzling though, is I've obviously unlocked now the ability to have flying mounts.
Yes.
Why would I choose a flying mount when I can just use my broomstick and it's better?
Well, that's exactly what I thought when I played it, because it is quicker and it's just more
you can upgrade
easy.
It, and it gets faster and stuff and everything, and it seems a bit easier to control as well. Like personally,
I suppose it's just if you want it to look something different, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that it's there as an option, because obviously at first when I obviously got this flying mount, I was like, after it's like, oh yeah, bye, and then like rather than say bye, I was like, no, I'll just suck him into my bag. I was like, all right, fair enough, you're all right in there, never mind.
That's just like a Pokeball, isn't it?
Yeah, went back to like the room of requirement and went to stick him out in the area, and it was like, oh, you can only have 4 species in this area. I was like, what? Where's he supposed to go? And then literally Deke was like, over here, bruv. And then like the thing opened up and it gave me like a completely different area to house them in.
Yeah, that's right. You get a few different ones. I do love
those areas. Yeah, there's that one with the rocks and the water and everything, and you can see them flying around in it and everything as well. And I've got my little food stash, so I never have to feed them. They just go over and feed themselves and everything. I need to get some playthings actually for that lot, because I've got them for the other ones.
Okay.
You can like throw a ball out and it keeps them entertained.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I actually caught a unicorn as well the other day, which was cool. It needed 5 sucks.
It needed what?
Yeah. So, you know, obviously when you pull your bag out, you get your bag out.
I'm still talking about Harry Potter. What's going on?
And then it obviously zooms round and sucks, and you have to push square to like fill the thing each time. And the biggest one I've seen is like 3, but it was like about 5 for the unicorn. But I actually caught it.
Nice, yeah, because they're quite hard. Yeah, I remember the animals getting quite hard to get sometimes when they're running away, and you have to keep on pressing the fucking button with the bag open. Yeah, pain in the ass.
Yeah, you have to like hover them into the air, don't you? Like Leviosa or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Stops them running and that. But yeah, it's still a fantastic game. Like I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm probably only about halfway through it, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate, because it is a fantastic game. It really is.
And from what I've heard, like I remember speaking to my mate, I was like, do I have to worry about doing all the bits? And he was like, no, you can just complete the game and then go around doing the trials and other bits and bobs that are dotted around the world if you want.
Yeah,
like I said, there's no sort of like, you're not cut off from doing stuff if you progress too far with the actual main story.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, oh, they've actually done a really good job then.
Yeah.
Like to not sort of piss people off and be like, oh, I want to do this, but I need to do that first, blah, 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 blah.
Awesome.
So yeah, Hogwarts.
Hogswart, excellent. Okay.
Again, you can pick that up for like 20 quid, and like it still looks and plays amazing.
Yeah. I bought that off my mate for like a tenner a month after it come out. I just never played it yet.
Oh, you'll love it when you actually get to play it. It's got loads of just fun. It's a fun, enjoyable game to play as well, on top of all the other bits.
Yeah. Cool. All right, this is going to be quick, this one, because you've heard me talk about this loads the last few weeks. I've still been pumping out a lot of hours on Arma Reforger. So they're still getting DDoSed, unfortunately. So the experience has been a little bit up and down at times this week, where I've been on a server and it's all of a sudden gone really laggy. Then I've been kicked out, and then I go on the Arma Discord, and everyone's moaning about the same thing, and no one can get on. But this weekend's been pretty good, to be honest. It's been pretty solid for the most part, even though I did have a really funny glitch earlier. I took a tiny little video. It's only like 20 seconds long. I think the engine is still quite new. I don't know if you can really see this. I can make this bigger. So I was like crawling around because it wouldn't let me run. I know you can see this on the stream. And then I got in the car, but I'm not in the car. I'm like hanging off it. And then I get out of the car.
All right.
Right? What happens when I get out of the car? Oh, I'm falling through the world. Oh, dear. And I die. Oh, it's so funny. But no, I'm still really enjoying it. I'm still having a really good time. Just chatting to random people in the game who I meet from all around the world and doing different missions. It's like the thing I'm enjoying about it is it depends on my mood as to what I do. So I've spent quite a bit of time this week just driving a truck around the map, delivering supplies, or flying a healer around and delivering people to objectives or supplies, which has been quite a change of pace from just going to an objective and shooting the fuck out of people. I mean, I have still been doing that, but changing up my gameplay to do these other things has just been quite fun as well. So I've quite enjoyed that aspect of just changing up the game a little bit. Oh yeah, so I do have a little story to tell as well. It's just come to my mind. So I mentioned that I joined this clan that have their own server and stuff. I know I've mentioned it a few times with Illmatic, old podcast host. Well,
yeah.
You think that the 360G Discord has... I know you guys don't really go in it much, but it's been quite known. Like people have said to me, there's quite a lot of drama in our Discord. Well, compared to this, mate, our Discord's nothing. It really. So their Discord had about 120 people in all. I wanted to play Arma on this server, blah blah blah. But we had the Brits and the Yanks, and then for some strange reason, like in the Discord, everyone started being really shitty to each other, because people weren't happy with mods and all this other sort of shit. So basically the Brits were like, well, we're going to go and make our own Discord on our own server and we're going to leave all the Americans behind. And then the next thing I know, I've been invited to this other Discord with the Brits and I've been kicked from the main one. So I'm messaging Illmatic privately saying, what the fuck's going on, man? I just want to play games. But the crux is everyone was taking it so serious. They were like, I'm the major. I should be doing this. I should be in charge of these people, blah, blah, blah. So they all factioned off. And then this new British one, they were like, if you want to game with us, you're not allowed to join the Discord with the Americans or join any other milsim community. And I was like... mate, you're not telling me who the fuck I can and can't game with and who I can talk to and what Discords I can join. And they were like, well, if you don't like our rules, leave then. So I just left. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just fucking left because I was thinking, how fucking sad is that? You're all grown men and you're like, we don't do double simming. I was like, what the fuck is double simming? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? I just want to play games with people. I don't want to be fucking... taking it to that extreme level of seriousness. So that's just another faction of... I know every gaming community has its ups and downs and shit going on like that, flame wars and stuff like that, but, it makes the 360G Discord look very tame compared to the stuff that was going on in these other two Discords I was in for this game.
That reminds me of the shit we used to get with like the old Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially like an old wanky gamers had their meltdown and created their own group. That was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, just relax, have fun.
No, well, that's it. And I thought, and I thought I don't have time for all this bollocks. I just want to jump on a game and have fun. So I've gone back to just gaming with the few people in our Discord who have it, or just going on my own on the official servers and just chatting to random people and just enjoying the game. And yeah, I'm done about 170 hours now, and it's a good time. The family are back tomorrow, so my gaming time on Arma is going to drastically diminish. So I've made the most of it.
God.
I know. You guys are going to get sick of me talking about it, aren't you? So that's me and Arma, and we're going to go back to Graham. Peace.
Well, I haven't played a lot more, but like you, I went off on a bit of a retro tangent. I was looking on the PSN store, and I noticed that there is what they call a classics game collection. And I had a look through, and I haven't played a hell of a lot. I've played about 2 or 3 hours. I went back in, and I've played The Darkness 2.
Now, what a game!
I love those games. I love both of those games.
Yeah, I mean, the story is just it's presented. I mean, I think on PlayStation, I think it runs like a virtual PS3 on the server or something like that, because you stream it. There is not an option to download it.
Oh, it's the same on all PlayStation 3 games, I think, on the PS5, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think with some of the older games, there are versions that you can download, but I think that's mainly like PS2 and PS1 games. But I've been playing through The Darkness 2. And there just isn't anything like this out there now, is there really?
No.
Well, it was kind of unique at the time. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shoot 'em up, but it's kind of wrapped in a sort of comic book story, sort of.
It's based on a comic.
Yeah,
The Darkness. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, this game. I mean, obviously, you're playing it. The controls feel very slightly wonky, like they do on a lot of the PS3 games, because you have to use like R1 to fire and not R2, but that was just the way that it was on those controllers. But I mean, I really enjoy everything about this game. I mean, sometimes it runs horrifically, but I just think the storyline and the sort of the dialogue and the characters is just all fantastic.
Yeah.
And just so many little sort of things within the gameplay, like quite early on, you're in a subway level. If there are lights, you can't walk through the lights, because if you do, your sort of darkness has to stay in the dark, basically. So you have to sort of shoot the lights out to keep your powers up. And again, you talk about mechanics that have not kind of carried forward.
The creeping tendrils and that you could grab people and rip them out and stuff.
Eat their hearts and tear them in half, and it's like you just don't get anything different like this anymore. It's just all, cookie cutter shooters, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Not a lot of innovation out there, but no, I mean, that's about all I've played with really this week, and I went back and I just sort of was reminiscing on old games, but this game. I mean, I remember playing it on the 360 when it came out, and I think I must have completed this about 3 times over.
Oh, such a great game, yeah.
I'd kill for a remake of this.
I think I'm just watching a video now, and I think it still holds up quite well anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think the comic book style kind of gets away with it. It's like they say, if the art direction is sound, you can kind of get away with it, and it doesn't age quite so badly. Yeah. And I think that really helps this game, but just fantastic. I mean, there just isn't a lot like it out there now, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really cool story about obviously 2 kids growing up in an orphanage, and basically one of them gets taken into like a mobster family. Yeah. So you've got all the mobster coin stuff, and I still remember like quite classically with the 360 thing, you can actually sit on the couch with her, like during
And
a
watch
certain
the
part of the
TV.
game, and watch
Yeah, I remember that.
an entire film.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the entire film is there. You can sit and watch it if you want to. And
It's
I think
mad,
there was
isn't it?
there was an achievement, wasn't there, for watching it for like half an hour or something?
Yeah,
Sitting
something
there
like
there
that.
for a
Yeah,
while.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
I'm sure Peebs has got that
Awesome.
Chivo.
Oh, I've got it.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember really liking it. It's a shame that another game never came along because they blatantly set up a third game at the end of the second one.
Yes, they did. Yeah, yeah.
But I think now they would struggle to bring out a third game with people remembering what happened. I think if they were going to do that, they'd need to remaster or remake the original 2 as well again.
Yeah.
Which I'd be quite happy with,
yeah.
to be perfectly honest. We're past that time period now where there's a lot of people who haven't played it or don't know what it is. And it also had loads of really interesting stuff, like the weird flashback scenes where you're suddenly in like World War One with like demonic Nazis with fucked up faces and that, and all of your troops are kind of people that are body parts stitched together and that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fantastic. Was it 2K?
Did you know that the guy that did the voice of the actual Darkness itself is in a group?
Oh, really?
Right.
Just look it up. He's the lead singer from Faith No More.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Mike Patton.
Mm.
Mike Patton, is it?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, but like I say, a lot of people probably have this sort of classic game catalogue and possibly never even delve into it. But there are some little nuggets in there that are worth looking up, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like what we said, best generation. Like
100%.
for interesting games and
Yeah.
franchises that
100%.
people decided to try and do. I mean, talking of another one, was it Dark Sector?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Third-person resi one, and you had that glaive that kind of fused to your arm.
Yeah,
you could like launch it off.
Yeah.
Ah, memories. Memories.
Singularity, etc.
Oh, Singularity. Yeah, now you're talking. Awesome. Yeah.
All right,
it's good.
Nice one, mate. Nick, then?
Right, another new game I've been playing. Well, kind of a remake. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, because this is weird because I didn't know this like back in the day because this came out originally. Just Ninja Gaiden 2 came out on 360, and then a year later it came out on PS3, which I didn't know it was the same game. So I'm into Sigma.
Right.
So because I think it was one of these first games when we didn't care where it had like a year's exclusivity or something.
Right.
Which was weird. So I ended up playing.
It's like Bioshock as well. I think that was exclusive to Xbox for a little quite. Was it a year or 2 years?
I think Bioshock 1 was always exclusive. I don't think that ever came to PS3.
Oh, no, it definitely came to PS3.
Are you sure? I don't think
it came with extra content when it hit PS3.
Are you sure? I don't know. I can't remember if they did that, but
well, it must have been.
It was on when PlayStation did their PSN or PS Plus thing, and they started giving away free games. It was one of the first
it came with
games
the
they gave
trilogy,
away.
but I didn't know if it did. I'm thinking because, like I said, there was a few games that were never some of them never came.
Yeah, I think it was called like Trials. It was like a Trials room or something, or Trials rooms.
Maybe, I mean, yeah, it's what it is. But, so I've been playing this, which is good, because another Game Pass game, which I don't have to pay for, even though I've got the 360 and the PS3 version. I thought, I'll play it again. But the reason I never really played much of these before is a bloody hard game. It's such a hard game. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far to say Dark Souls hard, but it's on the harder difficulties, possibly harder than those games, because...
Yeah.
It doesn't care. They'll all attack you at the same time.
Well, this is where you need to use your like jump move, like flashes you around, and
you unlock stuff as you go, like better blocks, like better abilities and stuff like that, and then you can block and then like move with the D-pad, and you can kind of like move behind them and then attack them.
Yeah.
But you have to learn these over. I think I'm about 4 or 5 missions in, maybe played for a good 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I'm still unlocking stuff now.
Yeah.
You know, and try to upgrade and stuff like that. And I think it wants you to do multiple playthroughs and stuff like that. But I mean, it's good fun. I mean, obviously, which I think is brilliant, they've added baby mode called hero mode, which I'm playing on.
Yeah.
It's still pretty difficult actually, because I'll just suck at games and I never want to block. That's probably why. I think you have to block in this, but obviously it makes it easier. And there's a hero mode part where if you get down to like low health, it brings a bar up under your health bar that you see on the Twitch here, Webby, and it basically auto blocks for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like as you kill the enemies, you like absorb, and then your health goes back up. Which I prefer. I don't mind having those modes, and for people who want to use them, you know, like I said, I haven't got the time, patience, or skill to just spend months playing one game like Dark Souls, you know, get good and all that crap.
Yeah,
I think I haven't got time. You know, but it's pretty good. I mean, that had a few bits which had the internet a little bit upset. Some of the censorship they've done.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know if you talked about... Well, basically, because obviously this is on Game Pass. It's on PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it seems that Xbox are now censoring stuff and PlayStation aren't anymore.
So what's censored then? Because it's gory as fuck still. Are they censoring boobies on the female characters?
The women out of the trailer.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The actual launch trailer on PlayStation was fine, and the Xbox one, they just completely cut women from the trailer.
Oh, weird.
The women. So I'm like, that's weird. And they've made pretty much all the boobs a little bit smaller. I mean, they're still decent, you know, and they've got like jiggle physics, so you can get off to that. You know, I'm just saying they've not completely given them all like mastectomies or whatever it's called. You know, that's what the woke left wants you to do. But also one of the main characters, I mean, from from Dead or Alive, one with the purple hair.
Right.
Yeah,
They've really shrunk her and covered her up. But then, so half of Twitter were mad because censorship, but then the other half were like, yeah, but she's 14. And I'm like, I'm somewhere in the middle, because do you want a 14, even though it's a video game character, you shouldn't, I mean, she had ginormous tits, so I'm talking, you know, I mean, you remember the Dead or Alive games, don't you?
Well, I don't even think she's that young in the Dead or Alive games.
Well, the internet said that she was 14 set during this game. I don't know, I didn't like go to fact check, I didn't put that much, I just took a screenshot and...
just Google 4 14-year-old girls, Nick, and see what happens. See who comes knocking on your door.
Yeah, maybe I'm not going to be on next week. After.
Hugh Edwards asking for some
This was supposed to be talking about video games. What's going on?
Oh dear.
Yeah, but that's fun, Ninja Gaiden, because they announced the newest one, didn't they? Ninja Gaiden. Is it 4? I'm pretty sure.
They've been advertising it quite heavily on YouTube as well. It looks really good, actually.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, with this, like, whatever remake... I mean, I wouldn't call it a remake. A lot of remakes that have come out over the years, like, they just look like a port where they've upped the resolution. Do you know what I mean? It's just like... But, like, we were talking... When Graham was saying about the darkness, if they did ever make something like that, just do a deal with Xbox on Game Pass, run it through some filters, HD up a little bit, and just bang it on there and announce the new one. Do you know what I mean? It's I don't know. It's easy money for them, but then I think a lot of these companies don't want to remind people how games used to be. You know, like finished, not broken, not trying to sell you shitloads of DLC from day one.
I think more and more people are starting to pick up on all of that nonsense, to be honest, because there are more developers talking about it. And it pretty much started off with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Well, I was a bit...
one of their heavy pushes for that game, saying, no, it's a fully finished game. We're not really going to be changing it. There's no microtransactions. We're not doing that. We just want to make games kind of in the sense of the old way. And then obviously you had the similar thing with Space Marine 2. But we just wanted to make an old throwback game with a reasonably decent length campaign and then multiplayer that keeps you engaged if you want to be engaged in it.
Well, that's what I'm liking about Arma as well, Darren. Yeah.
I mean, even with like the Final Fantasy 14, Yoshida, like the main director for that game, has said loads of times like they don't want to make a game that absorbs your time 24/7. Because he's a gamer as well. So he said, I game as well. I want to play other games. I don't want to be stuck playing the same game.
Because then you just get sick and never fucking go back to it, yeah.
So I think this is why a lot of games flourished back in the past as well during the 360 era of titles, because I'd say maybe 80% of the games that came out were like 10, 15-hour games.
And then the multiplayer was just fun. There was no, you think of like Halo 3 as a prime example. You literally just get into a game with people. There's none of this progress of like COD guns and skins and all that.
Season passes and things like that. And I mean, they were trying shit. I mean, not season. What's it called? Battle Pass, not season pass. They were trying stuff back then to get more money out of you, paying for like online passes. So we're not completely saying back 360 PS3 era that they were completely perfect and guilt free. It's just they weren't cutting stuff out of games, to try and sell it back to you.
Yeah.
And your chat's having a go at me, Webby.
There was acquisitions about that.
Yeah, your chat's having a go at me. Apparently, it's not Ninja Gaiden. It's not Ninja Gaiden. It's Ninja Gaiden. I don't know what the difference is.
That's just how you pronounce it.
I'm from Norfolk, mate. I can't pronounce anything.
Basically, Gaiden in Japanese language means side story.
Whereas Gaiden means you're gay and you live in a den or something. I don't know.
Gay den.
You're in the gay den.
I just say it how it's spelled. It's GAI. How is that not gay?
Guy. Yeah.
Guy. I don't know.
Cool.
I mean, he's a leather gimp suit, so maybe he is. Well, who knows?
Well,
maybe that's the end game. He rescues all these sexy ladies, and he's like, "Sorry, loves, I'm gay." I mean, it's the end of that game, isn't
it? Yeah. Who was next?
Maybe me. I might as well just quickly mention this one anyway. Speaking of the sexy ladies, Mai is now available in Street Fighter 6.
Can I say I'm disappointed, Darren, because I re-downloaded Street Fighter 6 today because I'm a dirty perv and I wanted the lady with the big boobs.
They're not going to give her to you for free.
No, I didn't want her for free. Why can't I just buy her as a singular? I've got to buy a fucking character pass for 25 quid.
No, you can go in and use microtransaction currency from the store to purchase her.
Oh, I'll do that then because I like ladies with big boobies. Go on then.
Yeah, I'll tell you how much because I'm booting it up now. So yeah, I stuck it on this week anyway again because it's every month they do like a battle pass, which is kind of love it or hate it. I usually buy them because I've only ever purchased one of them.
Yeah.
Because if you finish the pass, you get all of the money back that you spent on the pass. So you can buy the next.
That's not
and
bad,
you get a free arcade game with each battle pass.
Oh, okay.
Well. So I will say for the Street Fighter games, this actually has some pretty cool things in the fact that you can access and play a lot of old titles through it alongside loads of music.
Oh, that's
from
cool,
other games that you can listen to as well, and some of which is like SNK music. They've actually got SNK music in it as well.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
So I'm just looking in the shop now. So Mai is 350 fighter coins. And I don't know how much that fighter coins actually probably is. Oh, fighter coins on the PlayStation Store. You're probably looking at one of those things. So you're looking, classic. So you'd think it would be $3.99, but that'll only get you 250.
Right.
So to get more, you'd need to spend £9.50 to get 610, or you'd have to buy 2 lots of the £3.99 that would still give you 150 coins left over.
Right.
Because like we all know why they do this.
Yeah.
It's so you never have enough, and you have to buy the next pack up or
Yeah,
whatnot.
of course.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you wait long enough, it's like I only ever buy the character passes when they're on sale.
Yeah. Well,
Because you'll have some people that'll be like, no, that's not too bad. And you're like, all right. So yeah, for the price of almost a brand new game, I get 4 characters on the stage. Yeah, that sounds amazing value. Considering I bought the game and I got X amount of characters, X amount of stages, X amount of modes, and loads of other shit. Like, it's not a fantastic argument, but they do it to keep people invested and involved in the games, so they last long in the tournament circuit, etc.
Yeah.
As far as I know, my character has gone down well. This is the 3rd character in the past, so you've obviously had M. Bison, Terry Bogard was the last one, and then the next one's Elena, which I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
And I expect the pass to probably go on sale when Elena's out.
Yeah, because I noticed that the first pass is on sale at the minute.
Yes.
It's obviously the second one isn't.
So yeah, if you wait long enough, they sort of will do. But yeah, the battle pass stuff on this one were to do with like my related like costumes for your character and all the rest of it. And the arcade game this time was Strider.
Nice. Very nice
there's
indeed.
actually quite a few. I'll actually let you know all of the games that are actually accessible through it by now, actually, just to bore everyone. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Final Fight, Captain Commando, Magic Sword, Sun, Mega Man Power Battle, Sidearms, Legendary Wings, Vulgus, Savage Bees, Slam Masters, Battle Circuit, Darkstalker's Revenge, King of Dragons, 1942, 19XX, and Strider.
That's quite a lot of games there. Nice.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a nice little bonus, and it doesn't cost Capcom bugger all, because these are all old games anyway that they've probably got on countless collections. So
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, too right.
So yeah, I've just been tinkering about with that a bit this week.
Very nice indeed.
We'll move on.
Yeah. Okay. So I did play a new game this week. Tokyo Xtreme Racer.
Boo!
Boo! I liked that on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I did. I don't like this one.
Have you played it?
No.
Okay, so why are you going boo then?
Because they took Honda out.
Oh.
And that's it, really. That's all I know.
So I never played the originals, but I know this these games by this Genkai Personal Studios got quite a rich heritage, shall we say. So all the discussions on Steam of people saying, yes, Genki, you're back, blah, blah, blah. It's very arcadey. Sure,
yeah, were they involved in the sort of, what was it called? There was like a weird Gran Turismo-y Sega game that kind of came out in the early days of the Dreamcast, I want to say.
What, Sega GT?
Was that what it was? Just Sega GT?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to know if they were involved in that as well. Because I know they're mainly known for these Tokyo Underground racing games.
Yeah, because they did like Tokyo Xtreme Racer Drift. I'm just looking here. They've done quite a few old games. I've not really done anything. The last game they did before this was in 2009 called Katamari Forever and Spectrobe's Origins on the Wii.
They must have worked on, because Katamari's Namco, isn't it?
Yeah. The Import Tuna Challenge, Tokyo Xtreme, Kaido.
Maybe they bought them out and then they went back independent again.
I don't know. Anyway,
I just have to laugh every time I hear Katamari. It's just
so
you're rolling people up.
So some good things and some negatives, I will say. So good things is the customization on your cars is pretty awesome. Think of like Need to Speed Underground, where you can put like neon lights under your cars, body kits, change your alloys and exhausts and all that sort of jazz. It's awesome. Graphics are pretty nice. It looks and feels. I mean, it looks decent, but it looks like kind of a Dreamcast game, but nicer, if that makes sense. The thing is though, is it's all on the Tokyo Expressway, so it's pretty much straight roads with a few bends. So it doesn't really make for super exciting racing, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's basically just the vibe of the music, it's all in nighttime, the lights, and just going down the expressway, flashing someone to race them. And then it's basically just like a straight line race. And if you win, great. If not, try again. You know, you can draft and get them to crash into other cars and things like that. So basically the way it works is when you overtake, or if you're there's like a bar above your name and a bar above the person you're racing. And the longer you're in front of them, the more their bar goes down. If they're in front of you, your bar goes down. And so whoever's bar goes down first is the loser. That's basically the game. At the minute, I've played it for a good few hours, and there's only 3 different cars I can choose from. So I'm not actually sure when the other cars unlock, because I've seen videos with like with more different cars like a GTR and stuff, but I've not unlocked that yet.
Did you play it on
It'll
Dreamcast,
be a lot
maybe?
No.
I imagine this is going to involve a lot of the older sort of like the sort of, we'll say, the golden era of Japanese automobile like vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the old Toyotas, Nissans,
Yeah, it is.
Like,
yeah.
The only thing I remember from the Dreamcast one, I say a mate who used to stream it a lot, as his favourite game, is it was just so quick. That was its thing. It was just really fast, and it like. But then I think that sort of went away, and then like Burnout, that they were like the kings of like really fast racing.
Yeah.
So,
and then it made EA loads of money, and they went, well, we'll just leave that in the corner to rot. We won't do anything with that franchise until we bring out Burnout Paradise or whatever it is on last gen consoles.
I think like a lot of them, they don't want to pay money for licenses for these cars. I think I think a lot of this, especially back then, like late 90s, early 2000s, when games weren't doing well but weren't making more money, that they were happy to license their cars and things out, whereas now they just want stupid money. Whereas, like, what was the game that they now updated it and removed all Porsche from it? Was it one of the Forza games? One of the Forza games, they've updated it.
They stopped selling one of the Forza games due to the license running out. Yeah,
I think it was that one, but I think it's one of the games I want to say it was a Forza game, or one of them. Yeah, they just removed the Porsche, and then so people who'd paid for the game and had Porsche, or even bought the DLC, they just went nope, gone.
Yeah, I don't know what game that was. I don't know, but no, I mean this game. I'm guessing it's made for the fans of the originals, because I mean, to be honest, like just going down those streets, it does get a little. I'm already just a little bit bored of it, because there's nothing different in the racing, if that makes sense. So I don't know how long I'm going to really stick to
just
it.
Cruise and then flash up other racers and stuff to challenge them and everything.
Yeah. Because that's probably a bit about it, because you go back to your garage, you upgrade your car parts, make it quicker. You can change your tyres, softs, mediums or hards, and they do run down. And then when they run low, you quick travel to the garage, change them and drop back into the map again. I mean, it's okay. It's quite a chill game. I do think it's a little bit overpriced. It's 25 quid.
But it's still early access.
And it's still an early access, yeah. But I would have thought like 15 would be a more reasonable price for what's there at the moment. But that's just...
But for that early access price you're paying for, you will get the rest of the game when it's finished for that same price. Yeah, so... Yeah.
So, yeah. Tokyo Xtreme Racer. It's okay. Only on Steam for the moment.
Cool.
And
they seem to obviously use things like that where it'd be like Xbox usually do like more of the early access kind of stuff as well, but PlayStation don't, do they?
Yeah, no. But yeah, there's that. Graham, played anything else?
I haven't played much of anything else. I've twiddled around with Vampire Survivors, done a little bit on Power Wash, but no, not really played anything else.
Fair dues. What about you, Nick? I can hear you playing something at the minute.
How dare you? I would not play games. I'm a professional.
How unprofessional is that? I don't know.
Yeah, Black Ops 6. I was playing not for very long, a few hours. I downloaded it and tried to play it on my PC.
Yeah.
I just can't go back to keyboard and mouse on that game.
You're just not hardcore, mate.
I am, but I can't be asked to put in the effort. I'd rather just play on the Xbox with a controller than I would on keyboard and mouse. Now that's But then I played Counter-Strike, and I was happy with that because I think I've always played that on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
I'm sad, but it's just I don't know. It's just because most of Call of Duty I've played on Xbox controller. It's just sort of hardwired into my brain. But whereas I found with this, shooting is a lot easier on keyboard and mouse, but actually moving about the levels seems to be a lot harder. Whether or not I need to change some of the buttons or controls, maybe I don't know, because using the old WASD to move, and then if you want to sprint, it's the shift key, which is my pinky finger off at a weird angle.
So it's used to it.
I know, but you say you get used to it, but what's easier, that or just clicking in the...
Well, use a controller because the auto aim snaps you into the enemies anyway. So the one thing I will say about COD though is I was playing quite a bit of it this weekend with Colin and Peebs on the Warzone.
Didn't send me an invite though, did you?
The game, I don't know how much more of it I can play because it's full of cheaters, mate. Because I don't know what it is. Is every time I play COD now on the multiplayer or the Warzone, I watch the replay or I'm trying to shoot people and they're moving so quick. It's not normal in the game. I don't know how they're doing it. They're moving around so quick and they're just dodging all your bullets and then just fucking pop you in two shots. And it's just constant now. It's just so annoying. They're just too fast. I don't know how they're glitching the game to do that or what, but it's just...
Heard that.
I don't like it. It pisses me right off, mate.
Yeah, I was talking to my mate last year about this, and he was saying even last year, since it's gone cross-play with PC and consoles, it seems to be more cheaters, because obviously you cheat on the PC, not on the console. Yeah. But he said that they used to really clamp down on that quickly. If there was an exploit, you'd find out about it on YouTube, and within a couple of days, they'd have patched it out or fixed it, whatever, how they were doing it, and banned them. Whereas even at last year's, they reckon they're just not clamping down on cheaters as fast as they used to.
No, so can't be arsed, because they've got money.
I have got money. They just think every time we spend money and fix this, then another 5 different... I suppose they're just spending so much money to fix it, they just can't be... Like I said, they can't be asked anymore. I think they still are, but they're... Do you know what? Rather than do that and update it 3 times a week, let's just update it once a week and just get them all rather than quickly.
I don't know, man. I'm just finding it very frustrating. Just that those people that run around too quick. It's just and I think another part of it is because I've been playing so much Arma and it's at such a slower pace. You're being more methodical with your shooting, sneaking up into bases and that. I just prefer that kind of game. This is more arcade, isn't it?
Well, I think they call it a twitch shooter, don't they?
Yeah.
It's you've got to have really quick reactions, whereas some of the other games, it's more strategic. And it was if you've got cover and you're shooting them, you'll win. Whereas I don't know how many times in COD that I've, snuck up behind someone, like unload a full clip on them, they don't die, and they just turn around and shoot you in one hit kill.
Yeah,
and you just think, come on. I know that you could say, well, it's all your fault for not killing them, with all the bullets, but it just seems a bit iffy like that. But I mean, I enjoyed it, but like I said, I played that, and then I went and did Counter-Strike 2, because I changed it to 2. Played a bit of Dust, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh yes.
And I got my nostalgia thing from back, because that was one of the first console PC games I got back in the day when I got my first computer when I was 18. I played that, and then Battlefield 2 mostly. They're the two games I played. Well, that was Counter-Strike Source. It's just, I get like that, and then I played it for about 45 minutes, an hour, and I thought, oh yes, I love this so much. I remembered that. I'm going to play this every day, and then I haven't played it.
Do you know it's still the most popular played game on Steam? Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
Because it's just, you could just pop in, pop out, play a few rounds, and go. You don't have to put well, I don't know if there is all battle passes in this. Possibly. I didn't really go too much into that. I just played a few of the games. But yeah, I think that's the thing, because I do the same with some of my old retro games. I think, oh yeah, I really fancy playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Oh, I really want to play it. I'm getting all nostalgic for it. And I play it for about an hour, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'll play it again in 6 months. Do you know what I mean? I think that's that type of game.
I did pick that up at Christmas, actually.
What?
The
Marvel collection?
Marvel collection, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it cheap physical anywhere.
I think I picked it up for about 25 or 30, something like that, during the Christmas sales.
What, digital?
No, physical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw it digitally on offer, but I haven't seen it physically. I haven't turned up on my Hot UK.
It's only PS4 version you can buy.
Yeah, there's no PS5.
It's not going to make any difference, no.
What's it, Marvel vs. Capcom collection, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. But then, like I said, it'll have the games on there, but I've got them on the shelf. Do you see what I mean? I've got them on my Dreamcast or things like that, so I could just play the one or two that I actually enjoy. Plus, they put those weird borders down either side because it was 4x3.
Yeah, you get the little character artworks. They've been doing that for a while on the arcade.
No, that's nice, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm sure you can change it and just have plain black bars. I'm pretty sure you
could probably squash the picture down as well, so it takes up the full screen if you want to be a heathen.
I think my Dreamcast probably does that, stretches it out a little bit, but that's why I can't see my health bar, because it's half stretched off. But
nice.
Yeah. What about you, Switch? Any more?
I did play a new game for probably only about 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
So I picked up Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like one of those ones where it's like, I never played the original. Loads of people banged on about it, that it was great. And then obviously with this one, everyone sort of says, like, as far as the RPG stuff goes, it's fantastic. You can do so much in it. And like the world remembers what you've done and all that kind of stuff. And I was, sounds interesting location, all the rest of it. So I sat and watched, because there's plenty of videos out there where it's like the story so far catch up if you never played the original.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So it basically gets you up to speed pretty easily and simply, per se. You go through like an opening little introduction part where you don't play as Henry.
Okay.
And then you're thrown into Henry and Hans on their way to like a negotiation with one of the other people from one of the other areas.
Okay.
And it's there that you kind of choose your class. So it's like you got fighter, diplomat, or basically like a thief, like a sneaky kind of person. And then I was thrown into like a bit where I'm sitting there at a campsite. I had a load of dialogue with a bunch of people. I went off, did a little bit of a sword play thing. Then I had to come off. And then when I really reloaded the game, I realised the thing had saved.
Oh, the save on these games suck.
It's horrendous. And I was like, look, I get it. I know that there's an item in the game that you can craft that enables you to do like a quick save, which counts as like a checkpoint. But you can't expect people to literally like not be able to put a game down and turn it off, and then be put back like half an hour of waffle and dialogue and other stuff.
Yeah.
You'd have to create an item to quick save.
Yeah, it's these drinks, aren't
potion.
Yeah,
it's like a potion.
Why? You should just press up on the D-pad and done. You shouldn't. Oh,
I mean, it's. I kind of get it, but that's why I love a lot of other games that allow you to, like, you know what? I'll turn this off now. Start, save, off. Kind of thing. It's done, and then you can obviously come back, and it's perfectly fine. Visually, it looks really nice, like the density of the forests and all that kind of stuff. It looks like a pretty interesting area to go off and explore, per se. The combat, let's just say I wasn't a fan.
Mm-hmm.
To be kind, I'll just say I'm not a fan of the combat.
That's what put me off the first game, to be honest.
It's kind of weird. So you kind of just like flick your stick in the direction you want to aim rather than hold that direction, because if you hold that direction, your character just completely turns in that direction. So it's kind of weird. It's sluggish, it's slow, it's clunky. The stamina's like pretty brutal. I get that it's supposed to be like that because it's one of those games where the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Right.
So the more you practice, like with weapons, you'll level up in that proficiency, which will unlock perks, which will make things a bit easier and a bit what's it. But yeah, I was kind of like, just give me Skyrim combat. I know a lot of people hate it, but it's much more fun than this. When it comes to the combat aspect, it's like if I want to block, I just hold block. If I want to attack, I just attack. Job done. But I get it's supposed to be like traditional and like more of the time and everything, but I can see it being overly frustratingly annoying to the point where you might have gone off, done a load of crap in your sort of playthrough, you haven't saved it for ages, and then you're coming back and some bandit jumps out, and because of the combat you might fuck it up, and then it's like, oh great, all that time wasted.
Yeah, that's the one thing I like about PC is, like, on the first one you can put some mods on to make it so you can save anywhere. Yeah,
they've already modded it out. Like, I think they said on the first day that the game came out, over 30,000 people had downloaded a mod that allowed them to save the game whenever they wanted.
Well, there you go. There's something that people want. Just
like,
put it in the game, for fuck's sake.
And it's just like, it's not the fact of, like, I can understand that because this is a game based on consequences, you obviously don't want someone being like, I'm going to go over there and steal his shit. Right, let me save it just before I do that. So if I fuck it up, I can go back and reload my save.
That's just part of gaming. You know, he's doing Skyrim all the time.
But I can kind of understand why they wouldn't want to do that, because then no one would really go through the punishments or the things if they're caught or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does get frustrating if you've got like a set amount of time to play something and then you just literally watch as, like, say 30, 40 plus minutes of your time just gets completely wasted and thrown away.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh great, so I've got to go all the way back, got to do all that again. I can't be bothered. And then more often than not, people are just going to stick on a different game and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to play something else.
Yeah.
Where I can save it where the fuck I want. And I can just put it down for 5 minutes and do stuff without worrying about things going tits up. So it's like I say, it's a good game. It just needs more time for me to get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because of that, I was apprehensive and I haven't jumped back into it.
What's your?
Because I know that it's going to be a game where I'm going to have to, like, set aside 3-4 hours and just sit there and play.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah. What's your thoughts on all the controversy that's been, so we say, on the clickbaity YouTube channels and Twitter accounts and stuff?
It's weird. Like, it's one of those things where it doesn't make any sense narratively.
Yeah.
Like, both of them are like playboys.
Yeah.
This seems to be something where they've just thought, you know what, we've let people do what they want. Let's let people do this. But then, because it's a narrative, you're going to possibly run into the Assassin's Creed situation. Which is why, if you're doing a narrative-based game that's actually fixed on a full narrative, don't allow people to have too much choice, because in your next game, if you do one, there might be certain things that have gone on, and then you're going to upset the people that have been like, oh, well, my character didn't do that. Like the whole thing with Assassin's Creed, where it was like, oh, my character was gay, and then when they brought out the DLC, I was straight and I had a kid.
Yeah,
that was the fucking story that they wanted to tell. And then people got all upset saying, oh, it's like digital rape.
Well,
because my characters and I just like just remove that fucking feature. Like, to be perfectly honest, like, which is why if I was to ever make any kind of RPG or whatever, I'd just be like, no, you don't get the choice of all of that's set out, because later on, if we decide to do more games and the characters are pairing up and having kids, etc., you're not going to get the fucking hump because you didn't want these two characters to get together or whatever. Well, guess what? It's my story. And this is how it's going to be told.
Well,
so it's kind of like a weird thing, and it does seem like proper in your face that obviously a lot of the people that were going on about the controversy in the first game are the ones that are going, oh, well, you can now do kind of thing, championing it.
Yeah, because the first game got a lot of stick for not being diverse enough and stuff like that, and now
it got,
and now now this game's being championed.
It's the same thing where you go down to like what's it? Like it all started with, like we all know, it all started with RE5.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
where people are like, oh, you're shooting black people. We're in fucking Africa, you retard. You absolute cock gobbler. What else are we going to be shooting? Like, if we're out here shooting buffalo, you're probably going to moan about that as well. Oh, you're just attacking nature. I don't get it. Like, Capcom should have turned around back then and just gone, shut up. What are you on about? Like,
you're
that
just
was the start
zombie-phobic.
of... Yeah, that was kind of like the start of the collapse, the slow collapse of the gaming media.
What's listening to idiots complaining online?
Yeah.
But I mean, I know what people are saying, that this is an optional side thing that you don't have to do, blah, blah, blah. But from what I've been reading, the first game, both the characters of, as you say, they go to brothels a lot and shag women a lot. But then...
I was actually quite surprised that was the character that it was with. And I was like, hold on. I thought it would have been some random, not the two guys that are literally like best buds.
Yeah, but also, I don't know how true this is. What I've been reading this week is apparently Hans, who is the guy that you can have bum sex with, he's only 15. So obviously that brings up another controversy.
He's not in the game. You're like in your mid-20s or something. Like, you're definitely adults. Like,
I mean, and I took that with a pinch of salt when I was reading it on the socials, because I was like, well, those characters look way older, but
they're probably going by, in this time in real history, if you're going by the real history, then this character would have been this year, like this age.
Yeah, so again, it's rage bait, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just weird thing. I mean, like the game apparently it sold around 1 million copies in its first day, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, well the first game was very popular.
I do think this controversy has resulted in them selling less copies. Like, I think it has.
Yeah, because you know on YouTube and on Facebook and that you get adverts. So I've been getting the advert for this game come up on Facebook, and then you read all the comments under it, and it's all fucking, oh, you pedos buying this game, or it's fucking just, and I was like, oh my god, there's all this rage.
So, yeah, it's just one of those where I'm kind of like, to be honest, it doesn't actually bother me in the slightest, because it's literally completely optional.
Yeah.
It's something you have to actively go after to do with like a bunch of different choices and stuff, apparently. It's not in your face or anything like that. Like, you can completely avoid it and be completely oblivious that it was never in the game in the first place.
Yeah, but I think
you wouldn't know about it unless the places like IGN going, oh, this is how you do this. Bro.
Well, that's it. Like, because the day the game came out, IGN splashed all over the social media and all that. This is how you romance Hans, and it obviously straight away it got people's backs up because one, it's a spoiler, and two, people don't like a lot of people don't want to see that sort of stuff in a video game as well. So it's the media that have been pushing it and pissing people off to get those clicks, isn't it? It's that rage bait again.
You can get it, especially with video games. I mean, they actually had a game like GTA Recalled for having a sex game that you couldn't actually access unless you hacked. You know, you took the game out and...
Oh, the good old hot coffee.
Yeah,
hot coffee, yeah.
So that was just normal sex, not underage 15-year-old sex. Obviously, we've come a long way, but it's just... I don't know. So is that actually in the game? So he's not 15? Or is...
Not in the game he's not, no.
Well, fair enough. It's just people are lying, so obviously people are just doing stuff to get attention, and then everyone believe it. I mean, I got Webby. He was like, he messaged me at like midnight. Do you realise there's gay bum sex in Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Well, apparently, apparently in the game there's a codex for all the characters, right? And in that codex it says that Hans is 15 in the game. So that's what I was going by. When
look at all, like the voice, the face, like I'd say these are people in their mid-20s.
Yeah. Well, I think there's Scandalf people in their mid-20s to early 30s, to be honest, from what I was saying. But
I mean, I've never met a 15-year-old lad that wouldn't want sex, so I don't see what the problem is.
Okay, fair enough.
It does make me laugh when you obviously got a lot of people. You'd have to be a bit of a Puritan to sort of be like, you'd just be like, oh, are you buying it? And like, nah, why? Oh, because it's got this optional thing that I never even have to know that's there or see it. And they'd be like, all right, yeah, cool, okay.
Yeah, but those sort of options have been in...
own Skyrim, by any chance? Yes. Well, guess what? That's got same-sex marriage and stuff in it as well, so...
Mm-hmm. And Mass Effect had that in as well, and no one gave a fuck. You know, it's... Those that have been options in games for quite a few years now, but it seems like there just seems to be more outrage now for the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's exactly the same thing if he was 15.
I think more of the outrage seems to be that this developer was kind of like... Every now and again you get a dev that's kind of put on a pedestal, don't you? And everyone's like, oh, in so-and-so we trust. Like, we saw this happen with, like, CDPR. We've seen it happen with, like, Todd Howard and Bethesda, etc. And obviously Warhorse, with the first game, they were very kind of like, no, this is our game, this is how it is, this is how it was in the historic period, blah, 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 we're telling this story, that don't like it, don't care, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And now I think what's pissed people off is this feels to them that they've kind of bent the knee a bit.
Well, yeah, because I've been reading into it a little bit, and apparently they are part owned by BlackRock. And obviously the conspiracy online is that BlackRock...
That's not a conspiracy.
That BlackRock expects this stuff to be in all the media products that they own.
Yeah.
So
that kind of makes sense. It's a shame that no one in the industry that actually knows about these kind of things doesn't just come out and go, yeah, basically we were forced to do it by this lot.
Yeah.
If we want funding, then we have to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise we don't get funded from this company anymore. But yeah, that actually happens. I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff come out this week, haven't we, with the poking around of Musk's lot with the USAID stuff.
Oh, massive, yes.
We need some... your tax money going, America.
Well,
like, imagine if that happened here.
It does happen here. It does happen here. That's the thing. Well, we need that fucking sorting out here. Oh, we need Musk to come over
and our roads. It doesn't look like it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fucking mad. But that's a story for a politics podcast. But yes, quite interesting. Listen to Joe Rogan if you want to hear about that. Ooh,
it does also, all of that does also creep into the gaming as well.
It does, yes. And that's why it's been in films for so long and TV shows and stuff as well, all owned by the same few big companies.
It's almost like there was a big thing on stage and someone actually talked about what they were going to do years ago, and everyone was like, you're just talking shit, you're seeing things. Be like, he's right there, he said it to your face. There's video footage of them literally saying this. Like, we're going to force behaviours.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And this is why there's and this is mainly also why there's been such a massive pushback against anyone who speaks out about it.
Oh yeah. Well, this is why, love him or hate him, Musk buying Twitter has been a godsend, because the truth can finally fucking get out.
Oh no, you speak to some people, they think he's like sitting next to the devil having coffee.
But anyway, we are digressing away from. The video
really good looking game. Looks like there's a lot to do in it. It will be good when I get my teeth wet in it, we shall say. But at the moment, I think I will wait a little while until I can put aside a significant enough time to sort of get used to it and put into it, because it's not a kind of quick dip in, dip out kind of game.
Yeah.
From its design.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, a lot of people are already talking it's the game of the year contender, early game of the year contender.
It's only February, but there we go. Nice.
Yep. Back to you then, Webby.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for the moment. News then, yeah. Well, one of my news was Kingdom Come 2 stuff, but so we've already talked about that. Oh, yes, so we did touch on this earlier. Oh, you guys haven't played anything else, have you? Oh, sorry, I'm skipping ahead.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Nothing of note, no.
Okay, we did touch on this. PlayStation Network was down for just over 24 hours over this weekend, apparently. Saturday, people couldn't get online and play anything. And this affected quite a few things. So I know, Darren, you mentioned you could get on the store. Many people were reporting they couldn't get on the store. Many people saying they couldn't play anything online. But then there was a lot of people saying that they couldn't even play their single-player games.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because there was always something else I did actually play. I think it's still going. The Monster Hunter Wilds beta has had an update.
Okay, yeah.
And added some new bits and bobs, and I stuck that on. And it's a shame it's the old build for the game. So even like playing on the Pro, obviously where it's not Pro patched or anything, like in performance mode, the game looks like shit. It really does look like shit. It looks like it's running at like sub 720p. It's horrendous.
That's no good.
So it'd be interesting. Yeah, so that's running at the moment. I think it's going to be running this weekend and then again maybe next weekend because it's out the following weekend.
Right, okay.
Or just before the following weekend. But it is a shame because you kind of want to show off the best thing to your potential buyers.
Yeah.
It'd basically be like putting out there like a finger painting by a 5-year-old and then someone going up and go, don't worry, the real one's going to come out in a couple of weeks. It's going to look way better than that, trust me. Wink, wink.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So it would have been nice for them to have done one where it's just like, even if it wasn't a full demo, it just gave you a little area. Like, oh, you can run around this little bit of the area with the new optimized version so you can see what it's actually going to look like. Because, yeah, it is so jarring when I stick that on and it really feels like I'm playing like a PS3 game or something that's like not even connected to a HD TV.
Jeez. Yeah.
But, yeah. So you could access the store.
You could.
Whenever I went to, it was just whenever I went to play a game online, it would either throw up an error message, or it would come up with like an actual official PlayStation error saying like we are currently performing maintenance.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I was reading online. I mean, I couldn't like my app wouldn't load any information because I'd look on the app on my phone. But the most jarring thing I found reading was, one, many people couldn't play their single-player games, which I think is crazy, like, because I remember that famous E3 where PlayStation would give an Xbox shit for always online titles, etc. And PlayStation have completely followed suit. And you need to, like you put a single player disc in or whatever, and it's like, oh, sorry, you need to be connected to the internet to register it to be able to play. Sorry, PlayStation Network's down, you can't play your game. Oh, well, that's shit. And then I was also reading online that you need an internet connection to register your disc drive if you buy one. So there was people...
That's always been known.
That's fucking bollocks. So you buy a disc drive, slap it in, oh, sorry, you can't fucking activate it because the internet's down. What the fuck, man?
The reason for that, as far as I'm aware, is Sony doesn't want you using any other third-party disc drive on the system, so it has to check that it's an official drive before it actually allows you to use it. That's what I believe that is actually for, because I can't see any other reason for them needing to do that.
Yeah, but still, I mean, take away that. It's like the fact, if PlayStation Network's down, your PS5 is pretty much a paperweight because you can't play your fucking single player games. I think that's crazy. Well, a lot of people are saying that they couldn't, so...
Yeah, but you've got to be careful what people say online, Webby. There's a lot of misinformation and people doing it for just clickbait. I mean,
or if it's not your home Xbox, your home PlayStation as well, and stuff like that.
What was that I said to you the other week, Webby, that someone put videos out and it had over 10 million views that said about those disc drives that once you've used it, you couldn't move it to another console. It was hard locked and you couldn't delete it from your hard drive, which you said, well, you can. I said, well, this video says you can't.
Yeah, so, well, I literally took me 1 minute to Google the truth. You know what I mean? So
Jeeves was down.
Yeah, well, in this day and age, though, right? A core service like that being down for over 24 hours, though, is pretty shoddy. You know what I mean? It's very bad. I can't think of anything that's been down for that long, like major sites or services. That's poor, really poor.
I think we had Nintendo. What was it when they started doing people on Christmas Day, like the DDoS attacks and things like that? I think that was the only time they've been quite good at that just lately. But I still don't think they've announced what happened. I think they've said that officially they found out who it was quickly and there's had no data breach or they've not got anything. And I think they said they've given people 5 extra days of PlayStation Plus. I don't know if that's worth anything.
Which could fuck me up a bit, because I buy my PS Plus during the Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
And it has to run out before I'm eligible to take advantage of their offer, because it's only for people who do not have PS Plus. So you have to wait for it to run out. You can't re-up it at that cheaper price. So if this makes my extension further than the offer's running, it's going to cost me an extra 20-something quid to get Plus for the year.
We'll have to have a look and see if it's changed it 5 extra days. Would you notice if it's up at 5 extra days?
I don't know. Be in your settings somewhere,
should do,
in your
you
profile.
can check the expiration date, because both of them, I believe. Well, no, I think Xbox still allow you to buy membership off of places and websites and stuff, but PlayStation don't. You can only buy it through in-store credit.
Yeah, that's correct.
They don't let you stack it either, do they?
I think I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might be able to.
Or you can't stack it past a certain...
Yeah, that's understandable. I can understand why.
Because I remember Xbox done that. You can't go past 2 years or something, whereas you used to you could go as much as you want.
Yeah.
Because technically, if they shut down the service before your time is used, you then have to place. Yeah.
Cool. Right, so that was that. Anyway, so that sucked balls, but I don't play PS5, so didn't affect me. A new report by Take-Two reveals that Xbox has only sold 2 million consoles in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I saw that.
which is apparently quite low. I mean, I don't know what an average yearly console sales are, but
I mean, this is why they're putting their games on other systems. It's like they're almost being forced to do it because they're not seeing any growth.
Well, it says
If you've got all these companies pumping out all these games and you've made a lot multi-billion-dollar investments in all these companies, you better be selling some games, otherwise you're just wasting money.
Well, I think they're making money off Game Pass, but they're not selling as many, which doesn't really matter because eventually they go. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, we had it last week. Yeah,
it's just they're making money hand over fist on Game Pass. They don't need to sell loads of consoles if they're already making money off the games. The reason you used to have to sell consoles is to get a good attach rate to get people to buy games. Whereas, like I said, I think they make a slight profit on consoles, but it's only the last few consoles that they've actually made a profit. Most of them, they used to sell at a loss to make it up on the games. So it's
at the beginning of a generation, yes, and then
by the end of the generation, they may be making 10, 20 quid off a console because obviously they tend to lower the price on the console as well. It's just, if they're making like, I don't know, 5 billion a year off Game Pass and PlayStation are making 1 billion a year off first party games, who really gives a shit how many consoles each company is selling? Obviously Xbox, or Xbox and Microsoft don't, because it's just, I don't like it, but that's where we're going. We're just going all games streamed through your TV, through Wi-Fi on a controller.
Well, that's the day I fucking quit gaming, mate. I'm not fucking doing that.
I don't want it, but I think that's what
you'll
they
have a
want.
backlog to last you the rest of your life.
Well, it says here that Xbox current gen systems have sold 29 million systems. PS5 has sold 65.5 million systems. So it's a big difference.
And we told the other week how many the Switch has sold, didn't we?
Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. But like I say, if they're not making, it depends on what Sony are making games wise. If they're not selling many games, it's kind of pointless, isn't it?
I mean, you started to see it technically. It was when obviously certain Sony titles started appearing on PC. It was when a lot of their first-party games were underperforming in their eyes.
Yeah.
And they wanted more customers. I'm sure if they sold well, as good as like the ones did in the PS4 era, they'd probably be continuing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to remember that Microsoft and Sony make money for every game, every third-party game sold as well, because they
make a cut, don't they?
Because they take a cut.
Not as big as their own titles.
Yeah, but they make it's like 20% or something silly like that. So it's still quite a bit, quite a chunk of money.
And I don't know if it's that much.
But to PlayStation, the only competition they've got in that space is Xbox. And if Xbox do a Sega and go completely multi-platform, then you've only got PlayStation and Nintendo, and Xbox is dead. And as a fan, that's fucking shit. You know.
I think it'd be dead anyway because Nintendo only do their own thing, and the Switch 2 is apparently about as powerful as somewhere between a PS4 and like a base PS5, so it's not as powerful as these consoles. So you'll only get the big games on PS5, PS6, and PC, wouldn't you?
Also, I don't know the budgets of like a lot of Nintendo first-party software titles, but obviously the budgets on like the American market for first-party is insane.
Yeah,
like Concord, and I heard what was that pirate game that came out early last year that everybody
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, apparently that cost them like 800 million to make that game, and it just flopped massively.
Years to make.
Yeah,
multiple development teams involved in that game. I think the credits for that game are about 40 minutes long. They're on YouTube.
Jesus,
the game, then.
That's like Final Fantasy 14 style credits.
Yeah. So anyway, I I think we will see Xbox do at least one more generation of consoles anyway, but then I think after that will be interesting to see. But I don't know. It seems because Sony are looking more multi-platform as well, so we might get to a point where you just need one system to get all the games, and that'll be that. So, but we shall see. We shall see what the future holds. And in console news as well, there is rumours that Steam are looking at bringing out another console.
Steam Box 2.
Yeah, Valve is planning to launch a Steam console in order to compete with PlayStation and Xbox based on a new rumour.
Called the Steam Machine 2.
Yeah. I think that would be a pretty good idea, to be honest. You know, I've got a huge...
It wasn't last time, was it?
I mean, I've got a huge Steam library. I would buy a Steam console just to sit under my TV downstairs. Cause,
how come you didn't buy the first one, though, Webby?
I think it was a bit expensive.
Yeah, it's just too early, wasn't it? The Steam, what they called the Steam Machine.
Still usable, or I imagine it probably is, but it might not be able to play some of the more recent stuff.
But I think it's a good idea because Steam OS is picking up, because obviously the Steam Deck is a great bit of kit, and you can now use the Steam OS on other handhelds now as well. And it's proving to be quite popular because obviously it runs all the Steam games. So I think a console would be a good idea, because you could theoretically just build your own console anyway. You just build a mini PC, stick it under your telly,
kind of
and put it on Steam Big Picture.
That's all they're going to be doing, is just building like a set little mini PC.
That's pretty much, that's all it is. Yeah.
All done for you. We're like, that's what we're going to use in this. Job done.
Yeah. So, but no, I think it's a cool idea. Steam is really, the marketplace on PC, and they've made it like a very console-like experience with the Steam Deck anyway. So, especially for people like me who've got a huge library, it's kind of a no-brainer, really. So I'm hoping this is true, because if it's priced right, it would be a good purchase, as peeps would say.
Yeah, I think the Steam machines were overpriced and extremely underpowered. I think they said, like, for what you could have bought for that price, you could have got a PC 3-4 times as powerful as that. So it's
yeah. When did the original come out? 2015, it says.
Got to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw a video talking about it on YouTube, so...
Yeah. I was made by Alienware Steam Machine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cool. Blah, 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 blah. And I think that's all my news. I did see a article saying that a former PlayStation executive put out in an interview saying that Xbox is on track to become a software-only gaming company, much like the way Sega went. But not sure when. But that's quite interesting little interview from an ex-PlayStation person. So someone obviously in the industry knows his stuff a little bit. But yeah, that's all the news I had.
I got one bit which is kind of sad if people know. I don't think none of us do it. Is Football Manager 25 got cancelled this week.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, how come?
Well, it's been delayed and delayed again from, like, it's supposed to come out September, October, and then they pushed it to November, and then basically this is one of the biggest jumps that they've tried to make in Football Manager for, like, 10, 20 years. I think they've gone, like, a full-on 3D engine for when you watch. It was still, like, when you watch the matches, it's still just, like, circle dots walking around, like, from 15, 20 years ago. And I think that this happened before years ago. I think it was when it changed from Championship Manager to Football Manager, it got cancelled, and then, like, they missed a year, and then it came back as Football Manager.
Right.
But it's just a bit sad. So, yeah, they've just said they're going to put more effort into next year's one.
Okay.
So, but I think they had a lot of people pre-order it and just wait. And obviously it was supposed to be on Game Pass as well.
Oh.
like day one. So a lot of people are like, well, hang on, I bought my Game Pass subscription and I was supposed to get Football Manager. So I mean, you would assume that, you know, Xbox would have paid them to have it as a Game Pass game. So yeah, not a very good thing. And I think plus they announced it at like 2:00 in the morning, but it was at a like a Sega shareholders event thing. So I think they had to tell them legally first before they could announce to anyone else that it had been cancelled, or you know, skipping 25 going straight to 26.
It's a shame, man, because they're popular games, aren't they?
Oh, it's happened. I watched I think one of the Madden games did the same thing back in the day years ago. They skipped a year.
So for Football Manager 24, then are they just going to update the rosters for the teams? Then
no, they just refused.
What?
I mean, they've never done that, because why would you get the same with FIFA? You'll never sell the new one. I'm sure
you can always with those games. Yeah, you can buy mods. Like my friend does it all the time. He buys like updated roster mods. For, like,
but not on console. You can't, you?
No, not on console. No.
It's generally not particularly a console game as of such, I'd say.
But this was one. I don't know if it was this one or last year. Was one of the first. They actually had a lot of the licenses, like the Champions League licenses, and have team names.
Right.
Because I know FIFA, when it changed to FC, so they don't have the licensed teams anymore. Some of them they do, some of them they don't, so they want to pay the money. So I think Football Manager got a license, so people were also looking forward to that. So
right.
I don't know where that goes. If they've paid money for several years of this license, they've completely wasted a year as well, haven't they? So
yeah, jeez.
Yeah, not nice for people. Plus, my mate, he does a lot of Twitch and YouTube videos like Football Manager, and that's like his job. So
right,
it's affected him financially as well, which is not nice.
No. Well, it just means people have to play 24 for a bit longer.
I think they still are, but I think some people are happy to play the older ones. But it's just, I don't know. I think people saw it coming, and a lot of people were like, "No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's only going to be delayed a month. We're only delaying it till February. We're in February. When's it coming out?" And then they just done it at the dead of night.
Well, Football Manager 24's on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's last year's. They're always a year ahead, isn't they, Webby?
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
This year will be 26. Because it's the season...
Yeah, for that year.
24, 25, so they...
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
I'm sure there was that I remembered earlier, but it's gone now. Oh, that was one thing I was going to ask, Webby. Is the new Yakuza on Game Pass?
No. The pirate one, no.
Yeah, it's out in like a couple of weeks, isn't it?
I know, mate. No, yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm really trying to buy less games this year. So, because I played the demo for that. What's it called?
Pirate in Hawaii.
Fantasia Neo Dimension that I really want to buy.
That. Sorry, yeah.
I played that for about an hour and a half or so, and I'm really liking that. But again, I'm not buying it because I'm trying to get through my backlog a little bit. But that'll probably be my next game I buy anyway, because I like those kind of old school RPGs.
Isn't that horrible, guys? If you buy a game and you spend a lot of money on it, and then you don't play it because you haven't got time, and you just keep going and going and going, and you think, "Oh, I'll play that," and then you see it's on offer for like a tenner.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I've got this huge backlog of games, and I'm just like, well, to be fair, I've mainly just been playing Arma, so I've not really wanted to get into a big RPG or anything, so, But Brooksy's just put in the chat, speaking of Yakuza, Nick, would you like to explain what you've been streaming?
But you said you wanted to get done so you're going to bed. But okay, I'll say the last game I've been playing and streaming, Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Oh, brilliant. What a game.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I still wish it had English dub, but it is what it is. It's just it irritates me slightly. But yeah, enjoying that game. It's good, honest games. But the games I were playing in Yakuza games when Brooksy turned up were not quite as innocent fun games.
Oh, were you in the
photo mode, because my mate, and I didn't even know it was in there. And one of my mates in the chat, he's like, "Oh, can you play the photo mini game?" I'm like, "What photo mini?" She told me where to go, and basically you're taking pictures and you go to but it's actual real live women, like on video, and you have to chat them up to get them to love you. And then you unlock like the next costume, which is more skimpily clad.
Brilliant.
Which I think is fucking brilliant. And I like my mate messaged me today. He said, "Have you looked on your Twitch homepage at your VODs?" And it's just the thumbnails of the birds just like laying there with their tits out. I'm getting in trouble.
No nudity.
No, there's no nudity.
Yeah.
It's just like girls' cleavage, bikinis and stuff like that. But then, to be honest, that's more fun. Plus, I don't want to get banned on Twitch. Plus, I don't want to get banned. Yeah, even Twitch. I mean, the amount of women they got on there with their like tits out in the hot tubs and stuff like that. Hey, this is Twitch that did this. This wasn't me. I didn't select the thumbnails. It's just obviously their algorithms picked the most, the best thumbnails for my pictures. So yeah, I was like, okay. And I streamed that yesterday, and I didn't, and it wasn't, but yeah, on the stream I didn't do that game, but you got to laugh, ain't you?
I'm loving it. Your thumbnails, yeah. I'm just looking now. Brilliant.
But yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's just I want to get. I'm looking at Like a Dragon, which I've had since like the Christmas it came out, still in the plastic. And I'm trying to go through the Yakuza games, but they're releasing them faster than I can beat them.
Yeah, you could like probably go a good couple of years playing through like the Yakuza series.
Yeah, I mean, if this is 2, I've still got the remastered collection, so it's 3, 4, and 5, and then I've got is it 6? Yeah, 6, The Song of Life. Before I get to Like a Dragon, I'm like, plus I've got Lost Judgment to play. Oh, dear.
Lost Judgment 2.
Oh. Well, no, that's just Judgment, and then that's Lost Judgment in it.
The Man Who Erased His Name.
Yeah, so many games, mate.
Ishin, if you want to go back in the past.
I bought that one, Reese. I bought that one for Christmas because it was like £12 on eBay, good still value. In the plastic.
Yeah, it's like brilliant value. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, I could. But for how long some of these games are, I could just spend the next 6 months only playing Yakuza.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Stop looking at my stream. You can look at it later.
We've all said it multiple times, like over the past sort of like decade or so. We get to that point where like, you know what? They can delay a load of games. I don't care. I've got enough to play. I'm quite happy with what's there. Look, it's kind of cool that we don't get bombarded by games constantly, but also sad that they're not just more pick up and play sort of things. Yeah,
and the great thing is, my girlfriend was watching that stream, and afterwards she was like, "That's an interesting game you were streaming." And now she's messaging me on WhatsApp, and she said, "You're all perverts."
Yeah, we are. But especially Kiryu with his camera out.
Oh yeah, but some of the things like I even had to cheat at that because I can't chat up women properly. Because basically you have to pick the start of the chat up line, the middle, and the end.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't know how to do. I kept getting it wrong. I was like, I really like to go out with school kids. I'm like, no, I didn't mean that. And she got really mad at me. So I'm like, excellent,
fantastic.
But I think they're both done there. But obviously, how do I do it? I did it for the platinum trophy, obviously.
Oh, okay then.
Yep, just achievement hunting.
Good man. Cool. Anything else, guys? I think
off the top of my head.
If that's it, then we're going to end it here.
There is rumours that, although maybe not now, there were rumours that Sony was going to be holding another sort of state of play type of thing, like.
Oh, it was leaks what was coming out
next week or something.
So many leaks, and they're all made up.
Yeah.
There was the rumour, and then obviously this thing happened, so I don't know. That might have put paid to that.
Fair dues. Right, on that note, we're going to end it here. It's been just over 2 hours. I need to go to bed because I've got to get up at like 3 a.m, so...
Yep.
Don't forget to put your car on charge.
It's already charged, mate. Already done. It's plugged in, ready for the preheat cycle in the morning.
That's clever.
I know. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for coming on. Sorry it's been a little bit rushed, but so I've got to go to bed and get up early and travel to Heathrow in the morning. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been emotional. And we'll see you next week. So from all of us here, goodbye.